G'day folks, today we're joined by a star of YouTube. Her page is Get Fit with Natasha. Her name is Natasha. She's got over 86,000 subscribers on YouTube. We'll find out from her how she's going with social isolation at the moment and a bit more about her secrets to success in terms of her diet and exercise. All this and much, much more on Legends with Bevo.
Welcome to Legends with Bevo. Thanks to the Holdy Hotel, Coopers and Anytime Fitness Glenelg.
Well, Natasha from Get Fit with Natasha, great to have you on Legends with Bevo. How are you going at the moment and how are you surviving and being in social isolation?
Well, it's it's funny because nothing has really changed for me because I work from home. I was supposed to go on an overseas trip to Hawaii in late March and that was cancelled, and I was going to see my family in Sydney, and obviously that is off the cards for now. But for me, nothing has changed because I work from home and I can still go out cycling. And it's funny because I'm seeing more people out there than ever, riding, running, walking the dogs. So yeah, I'm handling it just fine. And it's just a waiting game, really. I just take each day as it comes, and there's no point getting frustrated because what can you do?
Yeah, so true. Actually, I totally agree with you. I went for a run the other night and I could not believe, it was actually really cool, the amount of people that were outside walking the dogs and, just people out there riding and getting out and about. So that's something that's really cool. And like you said, it's kind of inspiring in a way.
It is, yeah. I'm seeing people out in the hills every day, and I see people playing tennis because I've got some local tennis courts just up the road, and people are playing pretty much every hour from 10 a.m. onwards. So I think this time is really good for people in a way, just to wind down a bit and reset from being under the pump with work. And I think some people are really enjoying it.
And tell us about the Get Fit with Natasha story. How did it all begin? And sort of tell us more about it.
So it all started, so the very beginning was at the end of 2016 in November, when I first met Duran Rider, who is a cycling YouTuber. And at the time I lived in Sydney, which is where I'm from, and he was there in Newtown for a YouTube expo, and I met him and we chatted for about 45 minutes or so. And then after that, he said to me, I think you have a lot of potential to be a YouTuber. And I was like, really? YouTube, eh? That was not a reality for me at the time because I was in uni and I was a bartender, and I just thought, that is interesting and quite random. So the thought was in the back of my mind, and the next month I came to South Australia for the second time in my life, and I spent a week here with some people that I knew, some cycling friends, and then went back to Sydney, and I was still at uni and just working. And then a year went by and I came back here. And I stayed for a month, and during that month I just filmed some basic videos, and that's when I started up my channel. And I came up with the name because I thought that Get Fit with Natasha is easy to remember, and it's quite a universal name and it will stick in people's heads. So that is basically how it all started.
That's so cool. And obviously I'll put up a link later on to your YouTube and your Instagram as well, so people can get on there and have a look. Your videos are first class, so well done to you and everything so far. Talk to us about secrets you're welcome. Talk about the secrets to your success in terms of from an exercise and diet perspective.
So the secret to my success is sustainable consistency. And what that means is I like to do a little something every day, even if it's as simple as going for a 5 to 10 minute walk around the block, doing 10 to 20 push-ups, just something small every day. It really keeps your fitness up. You know, I don't like to do high intensity interval training and set these goals for myself that I know I won't be able to achieve. And I think that's what people do. They start at square one and they're like I'm going to do this, but they can't keep up with that, you know, because life happens. And I'd say the second secret to my success is commuting everywhere on my bicycle. The bike is such an amazing machine, and using my bike as transport right into the shops and the city helps keep my fitness up.
That's so cool. And where do you sort of get your content in terms of your videos as well from?
So I get the ideas for my videos because people ask me questions every day. They write to me on Instagram or in my YouTube comments or on Tumblr, and I've got thousands of messages and questions, and generally people's main goals are weight loss and getting lean, eating right, and finding a workout program. So you know, I find that the more that you do it, the easier it becomes. And I just have ideas randomly pop up in my head during the day, at night before I go to sleep, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a video about that tomorrow. So that's how it goes, really.
Okay, and you do ebooks as well, and you do personal training. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I have a recipe ebook, and it's for sale on my website, getfitwithnatasha.com. And in it talks about human nutrition and what is the best diet for us, how much should we be eating, how to plan your meals around your lifestyle, and it's got 55 plus recipes. And yeah.
I love it. And you're also a vegan, which I find very interesting. How long have you been a vegan for? And how do you sort of get protein in your diet? Because that's one of the biggest, I guess, one of the most common questions that people have for vegans is where you get that protein from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've been following a plant-based vegan diet for the past 4 years. And where do you get your protein is definitely the most commonly asked question. And my response is that there is protein in every whole plant food. And there is this sort of obsession around protein in society at the moment with dieting and gym, and you've got protein shakes and supplements, and the obsession with this protein is just too high because the human body actually has quite little requirements for protein, and people aren't looking at the bigger picture. They're focused on this one macronutrient, when nutrition is all of the macronutrients and vitamins, minerals, antioxidants.
A lot of people get sort of protein from eating meat and milk and that sort of thing. So how's a vegan sort of get that protein, I guess?
So I get my protein from all the fruits I eat, bananas, mangoes mainly, and soy milk, rice, pasta, lentils, chickpeas, tempeh, tofu, the works. So obviously you have your high protein sources being legumes and grains, but there's also protein in fruits and vegetables. So the most important thing is to eat adequate calories. If you're eating enough calories every day, then you are 100% getting enough protein for your body.
And you mentioned before that you're really into your cycling. Do you have any ambitions of taking up cycling professionally or any other sports, or are you sort of more focused on doing your Get Fit with Natasha page at the moment?
Well, I've done a lot of sports growing up. I used to be a state cross-country runner, and I've done basketball, football, swimming, dancing, and cycling I took up about 5 years ago, mainly just for commuting because I didn't have a car at the time, but I don't have any plans to take it up professionally because I don't want to take the risk of racing, because bike racing is very dangerous. And basically, if you want to be the best bike racer, then you have to be willing to put your life on the line.
I totally agree with that. I used to ride to work and stuff, and even that was dangerous. So
Yeah, so it's not worth it for me, because I find promoting cycling through social media a much better approach for me, because there's a lot of reach there, and I like racing uphill. You'll find me in the hills most weekends, and racing up hills is very safe. I just do not like bombing it on the downhills. And also, I wouldn't be willing to take the drugs that are required to be a professional cyclist. And it's a lot of pressure, and I much prefer my lifestyle how it is now.
no, I think you've made a good choice there. And how do you find the difference in lifestyles between Sydney and Adelaide?
Very, very different. So, Sydney is a hectic place, very busy. There's 5 million plus people. And obviously, when you're there for so long, you get used to it, even though you're still frustrated by the amount of traffic and people everywhere. But when I came here for the first time, I was amazed at how easy it was to navigate streets, because they're all straight. It's like a square basically, and the roads are a lot quieter, and it's really different in the sense that you can go from the beach to the city to the hills in one day. So you've got nature life, and you've got city life, and you've got the beach. But in Sydney, you have to travel very far to go to those 3 places.
I think you've answered that very well. And finally, obviously, we've seen people like Michelle Bridges on The Biggest Loser, who's one of Australia's most well-known sort of fitness gurus. We've seen her come out with some fitness videos and that sort of thing. Is that something you might do in the future, and maybe television might be a thing for you as well, Natasha?
So my target market is about 16 to 25-year-old females, and most of them that I have asked spend a lot more time on the internet, and they watch a lot more YouTube, Netflix, and TikTok than TV. And it's funny because I don't even have a TV anymore.
Wow.
And yeah, I watch all of my content online, and I think people are using the internet as their number one source of information at the moment, and I think that is just getting bigger and bigger. So for the time being, I'm just going to focus on YouTube and my online presence. So I would go on TV for interviews, but I don't have any plans to broadcast on television.
No, I think you're doing a great job with how things are at the moment anyway. So it's just more out of, I guess, out of curiosity whether YouTubers do look at television. But like I said before, online's so massive now, and in 10 years' time, there may not be much TV. So it's the way it's heading, I suppose.
That's right. That's right.
Well, Natasha from Get Fit with Natasha, thank you so much for joining us today on Legends with Bevo. It's been really interesting hearing the insight into your career so far, and keep up the great work. And I love your videos, and I'll definitely put up some links on this chat to promote you further. And yeah, look forward to speaking again in the future, hopefully in person. You can show us some of your famous workouts. Yeah,
so you can find workouts on my channel and on my Instagram. I've got a lot of information on both platforms, so you can find me there. Thank you for having me on. It's great to chat.
Likewise. Take care.
Legends with Bevo. Thanks to the Holdie Hotel, Coopers, and Anytime Fitness Glenelg.